Last year, we saw the release of the hit title, Batman Arkham City. Not only was this an extremely successful release in both sales and reviews, but this has also garnered many Game of the Year awards. Not to mention, some people consider this to be the greatest Batman game ever created. But I'm not going to be looking at that game. Unfortunately, I'm stuck with these clowns. That's right, in this review I'm going to be taking a look at the other Batman title to be published by Warner Bros., Gotham City Impostors. This game was released on February 7th on the PSN and on the 8th for the Xbox Live Arcade. At the time I'm reviewing this, I can't really speak for how well this game has sold. It's just kind of what happens when you buy an arcade game pretty much when it launches. So, is this wacky imagining worth checking out? Well, let's take a look and find out. Now, you all know that Batman tends to do his crime fighting under the cover of darkness. So poses the question of how the city fares when he's not around. That's where this game begins. Apparently, during the day there are two separate gangs vying for control of the city. These gangs are the Bats and the Jokers. The Bats are vigilantes who attempt to stop crime in the city by emulating their hero Batman. But there are a few differences between their methods of crime fighting and his. Like what, you ask? Well, for starters,
I'm not wearing hockey pads.
These Batman wannabes are out to stop crime by any means necessary, even if it means by less conventional methods. As for the clowns, they are out to emulate their favorite villain, the Joker, by wreaking havoc throughout the city. While their intentions differ from the Bats, their modus operandi remains the same. So, it's up to you to play as these two factions in order to take control of the city. This game at a base level operates like most first-person shooters. You can purchase weapons, upgrade them, gain perks for kills and deaths, and you can even style them to your liking. However, unlike most first-person shooters, what differs is the gameplay. How so? Well, I can sum that up in one word. Gadgets. While playing online, the objective is to, obviously, kill your opponents with whichever weapon you choose, be it a shotgun, sniper rifle, or assault rifle. However, like Batman, you do have a plethora of gadgets at your disposal. These are gadgets such as a grappling hook to get you to higher areas for sniping, hand gliders which you can use to swoop down and dive bomb your unsuspecting enemies, and even roller skates to get around easier, just to name a few. Along with these, you can also equip yourself with pipe bombs, shurikens, boomerangs, exploding jack-in-the-boxes, and so much more. When you first start this game online, you have to choose from stock characters with different weight classes, weapons, speed, and health. Once you gain the ability to customize your own character, you may choose from different weight classes. What are the differences here? Well, the heavier your character is, the more health they have, along with being able to do more damage by dive bombing opponents or melee attacks. However, this comes at the price of moving more slowly, not to mention being a larger target overall. The opposite is true of smaller weight classes. You have less health, however you move around much more quickly, not to mention you make a very hard target to hit. So it's up to you to mix and match weight classes with weapons, gadgets, and perks until you come up with a combination that works for you. There are 3 modes for play online. The first game mode is Team Deathmatch. Like I've said before, this type of game mode is barely worth explaining, but what the hell. You gang up in groups of 6 and attempt to score the most kills for your team. You know, with all the gang wars going down in the streets, this seriously raises concerns of how ineffective the Gotham City PD is without Batman. The match is either won when a team scores 50 kills or when time runs out. The second match type is called Fumigation. The objective is to hold a majority of 3 control points. These control points release fumes for your team. For the Bats, they release a pheromone which will attract a swarm of bats. For the Jokers, the control points will release a deadly nerve toxin. There is a meter at the bottom of the screen ranging from 0 to 100% in favor of either team. If one team holds the control points long enough and the reacher meter is 100% in their favor, it's game over. The final game mode is called Psych Warfare. In this mode, the objective is to transport a battery to certain propaganda machines. Once installed, you must defend these machines in order for it to brainwash the enemy team. Once this happens, the enemies are without weapons and gadgets for a short time, but be warned that they can still melee attack. The team with the most points after 2 rounds is declared the winner. Now for the reviewing. As for the graphics, these are some of the best graphics I've seen for an arcade title. The environments are very detailed, the characters are varied, and even the customizations you can make to your weapons and avatar look great. As for the gameplay, well, let's start with the basic combat. The moving around and shooting segment of this game feels eerily similar to many Call of Duty games. Wait, hear me out. While the shooting portion does feel like Call of Duty, the gameplay is greatly enhanced and expanded upon by the gadget and class system. Not to mention, this game lets you unlock any weapon you choose once you have the ability. So being at a higher level gives you a larger arsenal, but doesn't give you better weapons than anyone else. While this game is quite fun, there are a couple of issues I have. The first issue I have is the fact that there are only 5 maps and 3 game types. Although this game is fairly new when I'm playing it, so there very well could be additions later on. The other issue I have is the fact that occasionally I have trouble finding a server for my game, but again, this game is fairly new, so that could very well be fixed sooner than later. But those problems aside, I gotta say I'm having a lot of fun with this game. So if you like Batman and like online FPSs, then I would definitely recommend checking out this game. This game can either be found on the Xbox Live Arcade or the PSN for $15. So until next time, this has been E-Dog, still reviewing and still fighting for justice! Whether I'm wearing hockey pads or not. See you next time.